Hello again, and this is a showcase of another nation based on the Might and Magic series. You know, if you are familiar with the development history of the first add-on for Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the Armageddon's Blade, you are probably aware that instead of the Conflux nation, we were supposed to get the Heavenly Forge that was based on the bad ending from Might and Magic 7, where the Daejan got access to 3D printers and some technology, but it was scrapped and hastily replaced with the Conflux Nation. And this entire lineup is based basically on the lineup from the beta version, and I think it's being developed right now for the Horn of the Abyss mod. I'm not sure. So, technically, this is supposed to be late age Daeja, because this is the same nation, but since I want them all to play together, I decided to make it not Daeja, but New Fountainhead in the Middle Age. The name was chosen because the starting town from Might and Magic 3 was called Fountainhead, and that's where the main heroes of this faction come from. Now let's take a look at our starting side. They produce 1 fire, 1 air, 1 water, and 2 death gems, but also produces 50 resources. Our units are the Grunt, who is a goblin with a blaster and a short sword with Wasteland Survival. Blasters deal 12 fire damage, armor piercing, but it's not magic damage. Foot Soldier, who is a goblin again with a dagger and a blaster, but better armor. Yes, this one has a leather halberd, and this one has plate cuirass. Again, they are cheap, but they cost a lot of resources. And they have blasters. Then we have the Stinger, who is an ogre, armed with a crowbar, represented by a club, and a single-shot Stinger missile. It deals damage in a large area, but only once. Other than that, this is an ogre. Then we have the Bruiser, who is an ogre, but instead of a single-shot missile, has a missile pod. You know, like the Revenant in Doom. It fires 2 shots 8 times. It is not an area of effect damage, but it deals fire, armor piercing damage as well as blunt. And as you can see, they cost a lot of resources, 50. They also have plate cuirass. Then we have the Jump Soldier, who is a Minotaur with a jump pack, with a jetpack harness. They have Razor Claws and Gore, so 2 attacks. They have flank and recuperation. And Jump Troopers, who have Razor Claws and iron-tipped horns. They also have a heavy jetpack harness and half helmet. And as you can see, they cost a whopping 47 resources compared to 32 here. And they are not very good at defending themselves. Then we have the Pyro, who has a flamethrower that is identical to the Fire Flare from the Abyssian Salamander, but it is not magical. It has a plate cuirass, reinforced leather cap, and again they cost a lot. And they have fire resistance and wasteland survival. Then we have the tank. It's a Naga on threads. It is vulnerable to shock. It's electronic. It is resistant to poison and it has trample. It is size 4, so if it encounters something big enough, it uses a chainsaw instead. It is an armor piercing, cutting damage. It costs a lot of resources, recruitment points, gold. It is large. It can heal. It does not have a need not heal. I mean, cannot heal, doesn't heal. And also has 2 short-range blasters. Then we have the heavy tank. This is a Naga with a Gatling gun and a chainsaw. It is slightly better protected than a normal tank. It is expensive and the Gatling gun releases 10 armor-piercing weak attacks. Only has ammunition 5. So if you need to deal with hordes of chaff. Our commanders are the assassin drone, basically the same as you are going to see in another mod. It can scale walls. It's an assassin drone. It's an assassin that has dark vision, stealthy, flying, need not eat, inanimate, poison resistant, shock, vulnerability, and poor amphibian. It is armed with a bite, with a poisonous sting, and electro laser that can did it strike? Yes, I guess it stuns. Then we have the Cyborg, armed with a broadsword and a blaster, leadership 80, player Kiraz. It has invulnerable, represented by it represents the force field generator, susceptible to shock, fire resistant, cold resistant, and dark vision. The Cyber Priest, Holy One, invulnerable, shock susceptibility, fire resistant, cold resistant, dark vision, a dagger and a blaster. The Necro Shaper. It's an Air 1 Death 1 Mage with a resource bonus and a rare random in air or death. And they start with a retinue of Cyber Dead. Pyromaniac is a Fire 1 Mage, nothing special, just a flamethrower who can cast fireflies. The Power Alchemist. They have blasters, they have Fire 2, Water 1, and 50% chance of fire or water. And they also explode upon death. Then we have the Cyber Mage, who is Fire 1, Water 1, and 1 Elemental Random. Invulnerable, susceptible to shock, fire resistant, cold resistant, dark vision. Your basic mage. We have the Necro Sculptor, who starts with a rating of 1 Cyber Dead. Air 1 Death 1, 20% in air or death. They have Healer, because they can replace lost limbs or organs with necromantic or cybernetic grafts. And they have a resource bonus. So all our troops are very resource intensive. And we have the Nuclear Alchemist, who is old. Fire 2, Water 1, Death 1, 1 guaranteed random in fire, water and death, and 1 rare random in fire. And they also explode upon death. And I'll leave them old. They have blasters. Also, I forgot our capital troop. It's a Desolator. It's a goblin in a power armor. It's sacred, invulnerable, susceptible to shock, and ambidextrous. Size 3, 22 hit points, 16 strength, got attack skill, power defense skill. They have a combat warhammer and diamond tipped combat drill. That's a mouthful. So they have 2 attacks. And the commander version is also exclusive to the capital. Costs a lot. And I should probably reduce the age. Because it's a Fire 1, Air 1, Water 2, Death 2. 1 guaranteed random and 1 rare random in this path. Invulnerable, susceptible to shock, fire resistant, cold resistant, dark vision, master smith, and resource bonus. Has a diamond tipped combat drill and a blaster. I'll decrease the age by at least 40 years. Because that's too much. And now let's take a look at our pretenders. We have quite a lot of choice, but we only have 2 national ones. We have the Rust Dragon. The sprite is ripped from Heroes of Might and Magic 3, who has access to water and earth, fear, fire resistance, flying, mountain survival. And it has Rusting Breath. Rarely used acid damage. You know, I remember complaining to Winter that there is no acid resistance. But they told me that we have acid damage. I didn't know that. And we have the Cyber Lich, who is Lich, and air and death magic, amphibious, pierce resistance, invulnerable, susceptible to shock, cold resistance, poison resistance, undead, inanimate, need not eat, immortal, and spirit side. Cool. Just a flavorful variant. And now let's take a look at our spells. I don't think we have many. Conjuration. Nothing. Alteration. I'm pretty sure we have some construction spells. I'll check them last. Do we have anything outside construction? No. Construction 2. We have Construct Cyber Dead for 2. Death Gems, Death 1, Air 1. 6 plus Cyber Dead with a ritual summon. Construction 3. Death 2, Air 1, 4 gems, 7 plus Cyber Zombies. Construction 4. Death 3, Air 1, 5 death gems, constructs a Dreadnought. Construction 6. Construct Legions of the Dead. Death 4, Air 2, 15 gems. It summons 28 plus Cyber Dead and 11 plus Cyber Zombies. And Construction 9. Unleash the Armory. Death 6, Air 4, 30 death gems. It summons 58 plus Cyber Zombies, 22 plus Cyber Zombies, 58 Cyber Dead, 22 Cyber Zombies, and 6 plus Dreadnoughts. Also, we have some national artifacts like the Wetsuit, Control Cube, Blaster, and Blaster Rifle. I am not going to show them. And that's all we got here. Let's take a look at our summons and heroes. First, the summon. The Cyber Dead is a zombie with a chainsaw. Or amphibian, susceptible to shock, cold resistance, poison resistance, undead, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, dark vision, undisciplined. They hit hard, and this is armor piercing damage. The cyber zombies have 2 circular souls in place of their hands. They're armor piercing, they hit hard. 4 amphibians susceptible to shock, cold, poison resistance, undead, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, dark vision, and disciplined. The Dreadnought is this monstrosity with 2 circular souls and a missile pod, just like the Cyber Bruiser. 4 amphibian, invulnerable, susceptible to shock, fire resistant, cold resistant, poison resistant, inanimate, need not eat, mindless, dark vision, and ambidextrous. Size 4, 55 hit points, 27 strength. And our heroes. First we have Gnome Assassin, Dark Shade. 2 poison daggers, invulnerable, stealthy, assassin scales walls. It's an NPC from Might and Magic 7 and Might and Magic 3. I guess it's an NPC in Might and Magic 7, but a playable character from the default party of Might and Magic 3. We have Maximus, the Half-Orc Knight, with a great sword of sharpness, an enchanted helmet, and ancient armor. Dark vision and inspirational. Leadership 120. Again, it's an NPC from Might and Magic 7, but a player character from Might and Magic 3. Dark Advisor, Talberti. Ancient armor, dagger, blaster, inspired researcher, fortune teller. Astral 3. He was an NPC in Might and Magic 7. You had to kill him if you were taking the light path. And in Might and Magic 3 he was a recruitable mercenary. And we have Castor. Fire 2, Air 2, Water 2, Earth 2, Dark Vision, Old. I'll make him younger, he shouldn't be old. He's a blue-skinned elf with ancient armor, blaster, and magic staff. Again, he was an NPC in Might and Magic 7 and a playable character in Might and Magic 3. And that's all we got here. We still have 1 nation left, so see you later.